So, part two to, feminism versus, MGTOW. Um, again, don't care about likes, shares, whatever. If you want to share it, cool. Blah, 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 blah. Um, but, yeah, it's men going their own way because, you know, the, the privilege between, men and women, it's such a huge margin, whether we want to admit it or not. So there are pros and cons to both sexes, genders, spectrums, however you want to classify it, you know. But there's definitely a preference on how one is treated. And since I've studied a lot of sociology and dabbled into psychology and everything like that, in 2010 until now, it opened up my eyes quite a lot. And the truth is out there. We just don't want to acknowledge it. You know, yes there is biased opinion on both sides, or any side, because according to what I know now, growing up, there's more than one gender. So now I don't know shit anymore. But based on what I know, there's two. So, anyways, and MGTOW, for the people that don't know, it stands for men going their own way. Because the people in that movement, from what they feel, so there's feminism and there's MGTOW. So MGTOW, for what they feel, is that they are now feeling somewhat mistreated, and they're tired of the ongoing struggle with the battles between the man and woman. So a few posts that I read was like, what's the point of getting married? Yes, growing up, mommy and daddy said, get a good, nice job, find a nice woman, get married. Then you see a bunch of celebrities getting divorced and, half naked, pretty much calling women like Cardi and Nicki queens when Michelle Obama is more of a queen than anything, because it's like, that's what woman represents. I don't see how Nicki or Cardi represents a woman, but then, you get women that want to represent themselves as Cardi, which I respect. It's liberating. Wop wop wop. And then with that kind of mindset, you're making it a little bit difficult for the man to actually appreciate the the dating life, and then when he gives up and just says fuck it, and not even just messing around, just being celibate and just saying, you know what, I'm cool with my PlayStation, or I'm cool with my Xbox, or I'm cool with my PC. For those PC master races out there, y'all fucking suck. Like really, you know, like I'm gonna get on your asses eventually, um, but it's just they're just tired of the ongoing, you know, and it will never end. It won't. And that probably was like a really, really, you know what, yeah, it is a really bad example. Here, I'm gonna give you another example. Amber Heard. We all know about that now. You know, it's like for a while, you know, for a little bit we believed her. She even went to freaking, you know, I guess marches and movements, and made a big speech about, you know, how women are being abused and the whole entire nine, when it turns out that she was actually the freaking bad guy. That perfect example right there is why MGTOW was manifested, because of women like that. Because when you go back to the audio messages between Amber and Johnny, and you go to the text messages between Amber and Johnny, you can clearly see that she was a piece of shit. And you know what? That's just one of the very, very many battles between the man and a woman that's unspoken of. And the only way that a man would actually get recognized, or have some type of sympathy, is if the female literally gets caught red red-handed, or indirectly gets, you know, trapped or recorded on the fuckery that she's doing. But truth be told, if Johnny never really go through such lengths to do all that, right now as we speak, we will be on Amber's side instead of Johnny's side. That's the truth behind it. Literally destroying his career from, I don't know, Babyface and Scissorhands to freaking Pirates of the Caribbean, and that spin-off Harry Potter movie, was it Fantastical Beasts, Magical Beasts, wherever the fuck, you know, like he's come a very long way. And all it took was for one female to defamate his character. All it took was for one female to defamate his character to change everything, flip that shit upside down, to the point where he's literally blacklisted. Now, they wasn't going to recast. They fired him from the future movies of Magical Beasts. They're going to recast his role. So now we're going to probably have to boycott that, because they fired him. So it's probably in their best interest to rehire him. I heard they were going to make more movies of Pirates of the Caribbean. They fired him from that. And if they're going to make more, it's probably in their best interest to rehire him, because he literally just showed proof of his innocence, you know. And that's what MGTOW was manifested, because we're just tired of proving our innocence. How come a female could go out there and say all this shit with or without proof, but the man has to go extra lengths just to prove his integrity. So MGTOW, men going their own way, they just decided to be single, celibate, or just, because we, let's be honest, we all have our needs. So yeah, we're probably going to fool around here and there, but we're not going to just take the dating seriously anymore. Because if feminism won't, if they're not realistic on their demands or what a man feels, then why should we? I mean, it's only fair, right? If a man's life or how he feels shouldn't matter, why the fuck should we care about your views or anything like that? That's equality. That's what feminism was fighting for from the very 21 Jump Street. So I have this feeling that I probably went in a whole entire circle with this, but it's whatever though. It's therapeutic and I'm just getting my mind out there, Me personally, I have absolutely nothing against women. Let's be honest, I need them, I want them, I gotta have it. I have nothing against feminism. I respect the core message behind the movement. I do. Because let me tell you, if it was genuinely up to me, no matter who you are, whether you're man, woman, some type of in between, if it was up to me and it was in my power and authority, there will be equal rights across the board. Equal as fuck. And when it comes to equality and peace, whether you want to admit it or not, but if you really think about it, there's also that chaos that comes with it. We could all sit comfortable in our ivory tower and say, you can't do this because I have tits and a vagina and I bleed out of it every once a month for 7 days and not die. Bleed out for 7 days and not dying? I don't know, man. Must be some zombies or something. Like, shit, what the fuck? Nah, let me stop. Let me be serious. Like, no, seriously. Like, there will be equality across the freaking board. Like, for real. And if I was running for president, and all right, I admit it. Making a deal with me is like making a deal with the devil. Like, I have a lot of loopholes, and my deals are binding. And if I was to ever run for president, if I had the money and the backing to actually be president, I'm pretty sure I would. And this is how I'll become president, because I will make it a priority for people to have equality. But here's my definition of equality. If you're a female and you verbally assault or attack a man, he can do the same thing back. Now, I'm not going to say that. I'm just going to say that I strongly push for equality. And then all the females and all the people in between that's not a man, I guess, will vote for that. They're going to want that. Because they feel that their version of equality means that they're going to have a leg up over the other person when it really won't. But that's my loophole right there. Then you have the people that will say, let's take away assault rifles. You know what? You're damn right. Let's take them away. And then I'm going to get their votes. Because their version of assault rifle is your AR-14 or your AKs. And then I'm going to say we're going to put some gun control on that. And then it turns out that assault rifles are already banned, you fucking retards. You see? But you don't know that because you're uneducated and you didn't educate yourself on what a firearm really is. You're going to vote for that because from what you think versus what is actual reality, I'm going to get that vote. There we go. Now here's what I do think should happen across the board. You know, like in a serious note is gay marriage. Like that shouldn't be. You know, whether people, you can't really prove if it's because of insurances or anything like that, but love is love, man. I mean, you know, as long as you're not trying to marry a fucking child that still has things going on for themselves, not even in freaking junior high or middle school or anything like that, you know, like I don't condone that. But you know, if you're a man and if you really love a man, then a law shouldn't really be considered a factor for you to actually legally get married. You know what I mean? You know, lesbian, gay, same sex, some type of gender. I don't fucking know. I can't keep up. I'm just old fashioned. I'm sorry, but you know, if you want that to happen, you know, like I really think that would definitely happen, and I'm gonna get your votes because I genuinely want that. Taxes. I definitely will lower taxes because what the fuck? Because you know, you have New York that's like 8%. You have Connecticut that's damn near 7%. You have California that's like, I don't know, it's up there. You have Washington State that's like 9%. You know, like it gets expensive, and like for a long time we're asking, you know, when the fuck are we going to get flying cars, or you know, like what are we doing with our society so much that we constantly need to get taxed. Like as a former military guy, you know, I hate to say it, but military funding is essential and it needs to happen. And when it comes to funding, I'm going to like put my priority on that. But at the same time, taxes should be lowered because no one should struggle so much just to please some governor or some senator so they could take your hard-earned money so they could buy their daughter a freaking yacht. So while you're working and struggling, paying their bills, like, that's kind of fucked up. I'm definitely going to lower taxes. And I don't care if you're Republican or Democrat, I'm definitely going to get that vote too, because I'm going to lower that shit, and that's what you need. So there's a lot of points that will probably make me a president, but my deals are binding. They are. Oh, and you know what? I would love for anyone across the map to come to our country. I don't care if you're from the Middle East. I don't care if you're from Mexico. I don't care if you're from freaking Mars. Please, I'm going to let down those walls and you could come and live with us and be an American citizen all you want to. But here's a loophole. You got to come here legally. But what you don't get is that those people that are anti-wall and, let's medically fund foreigners and all that stuff, give them free shit, free healthcare and all that stuff, you're going to vote for that. But what you're not going to find out is that they have to come here legally. I will be president. And I got the smell of Barack Obama too, my fellow Americans.